Hey guys, how you doing? See if you can hear me. Hi, happy Thursday. So, how y'all doing? I am gonna just wait for a couple of people to climb in. Climb in. Oh my gosh, it's been crazy. I'm having a horrible hair day today, by the way. Um, Glad you guys are all chiming in. So, hi guys, hi Kathy. Um, Oops, here I go. Hey Crystal, how's it going? Um, so it's been quite a day today. It's been quite a week, hasn't it? It's been quite a week for everybody, huh? So everyone's been biting at the bit. Has everyone been having a tough time this week with elections? Anybody stressed out, anxious? Anybody? I was, but I fixed it. You know how I fixed it? I fixed it by not watching television. By actually turning off the news and turning off the television. So, me personally, I have not been watching anything. So, that's how I've been dealing with the stress. How about you guys? How are you guys dealing? Hey, Deb. How are you, honey? Hi, Bonnie. Hello, Bonnie. Hi, Paula. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Thanks, you guys, for coming on. So we're here for another short story. So these are my Thursday times with you to just kind of come on a few minutes and just kind of, say hi to everybody. I always like to do that and kind of stay connected, right? Just we need that, right? Don't we need that? We need to feel connected. And it's certainly been a year of a disconnect. And so I love to be able to come on and just kind of say hi and just say hello and be connected. And so I'm excited for today's little story. Today, again, keeping them short, but I kind of feel like sometimes we can all gain a little bit from some of other people's readings. And so today is no different. So today I'm going to be sharing a little story from a client that came to me for Zoom. So I'm going to just wait for a couple more people and then I'm going to get going. So I'm just going to wait a second or so. So in the meantime, um, I just wanted to, what I want to do is I thought it would be fun. My girlfriend called me before I got on here and she was filling me in because she's been watching the news and she knows that I haven't. And so she climbed on and she called me and she was kind of giving me an update of what's kind of going on. And so, which I appreciate. So, thank you, darling, so much for doing that for me and giving me the highlights. But, as I hung up with her, I thought of a reading that I gave her. And last week I spoke about this gentleman that flew in on the airplane and it kind of landed in front of me. And that's how we started the reading. And I thought, wow, that was kind of fun. And then as I hung up with my girlfriend, I'd given her a reading, um, and she also had somebody in spirit that came in a very special way to start the reading off too. And so I think maybe in every from time to time I like to just kind of share a little bit about how they kind of open up the start of the reading, how they kind of get it going. And so really quick, I'll just kind of share. My girlfriend came to me and I brought in her grandma. She doesn't know I'm sharing this, by the way, so but I know she'll be okay. And I'm just going to share the beginning of it. That's what's kind of fun. So I brought in her grandma, and she was very clairvoyant with me, right? And so I'm bringing in her grandma, and can you hear? Is this okay? I feel like it's all bumpy. Is it bumpy? Can you guys see me okay? Hi, Kathy, putting it mildly. Hi, Monica. I stopped watching the news too. Good, Pam. Hi, Daisy. How are you? Thank you. I'm good. Me too. We're painting the living room. Good, Kathy. I love that. Be productive. I was really productive today too. Okay, so you can hear me okay? I'm not going fuzzy in and out or anything, right? I just need to check this darn internet. Okay, let me know if it is, all right? So, anyway, so really quick, my girlfriend came to me for a reading this little bit ago, and I brought in her grandma. And what's funny is she she comes she comes into my auric field. She kind of steps into my atmosphere, and I'm feeling her. But she puts me in front of a front door. So she puts me in front of this front door, and she makes me ring the doorbell. So it's like I have to ring the doorbell. So it was like it was wild. So I had to go in front of this front door and I had to ring the doorbell. So I'm like, so I ring the doorbell. This is all like going on here, right? During a reading. And she opens the door and she's wearing Hawaiian clothing. She's dressed up in Hawaiian design, like Hawaiian patterns. And she has red lipstick on and red nails, a huge smile, and a martini glass in her hand. And she opens up the door and like starts off the reading. Like it's almost like we were coming to her house for a visit. It was the cutest thing ever. And it was just so vivacious. And my girlfriend was like, oh my gosh, yes, Hawaiian patterns was my mom's favorite, my grandma's favorite. And she always had a Cosmo every night in a martini glass. And nails and her lipstick was everything, yes, red. So it was really cute. There she was, just full of life, dressed in her beautiful Hawaiian attire and her red nails and her red lipstick and with a Cosmo in a martini glass. It was just priceless. It really was priceless. So I thought that was a really fun way to start a reading, and that was from actually a girlfriend of mine, her beautiful grandma that came in, and that's how she started and kicked off the reading, which I thought was fun. Anyway, okay, so I thought I'd share that. That's kind of fun. Okay, let me see. Hey, Amy. Kathy, no, perfect. Yes, right. Hi, Jill. um, okay, so anyway, I just wanted to share that little thing. I thought that was cute. So anyway, are all of you guys doing okay with the election and everything? Are we stressed out? Um, are we taking some breaths? It sounds like some people are not watching the news to kind of keep them calm. I know that's what I'm doing. I'm not watching the news. Thankful my friend is giving me some highlights and updates to keep me current in small doses, and I'm appreciative of that. But we all have to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to kind of keep us kind of calm. And sometimes watching the news kind of gives us anxiety, and so maybe it's better not to always know everything, because I have an outlook of like, well, I could watch the highlights on Saturday. I'll still kind of get everything, and I can watch it in a condensed amount and not have to be feeding it, having it feed me all day long, because it doesn't work well with my energy. So anyway, that's what I did to kind of help. So I hope you guys are finding something also to kind of help you if you are feeling a little bit anxious through this time of uncertainty and not knowing where we're going. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about my story. So this is a story. I'm calling it Advice from a Mom to Her Daughter. So this little story is someone who came and sat with me for a Zoom session, and so when I started the reading, I felt a few people with me when I started off, and I knew I had two grandmas with me first of all, and so and one of the grandmas kind of made me aware that she was really strong personality, and she that my client. That the grandma loved her house shoes, like she was really all about her house shoes, like everything was about those house shoes, and that my client had her wedding ring. And my client says, yes, I have a grandma, and one of my biggest memories of my grandma is her actual house shoes. So that's very true. And I said, okay, great. And what about the ring? She goes, I did have my grandma's wedding ring. I don't have it anymore, but I did have it. Yes. And I said, okay, terrific. And strong personality. Yep. And I said, I have someone else kind of coming in here, grandma, who would have been in a wheelchair. And she says, oh my gosh, my other grandma was crippled and she was in a wheelchair. That's correct, 100%. And so we kind of started off like that a little bit. And then I felt her father come in. And so that kind of starts. I felt her dad come in. And then her dad kind of made me aware that he was in the military, that he was very, not an easy guy, and really tough with her. And she says, yes, my father was very tough and very tough on me. And I said, yeah, that's what he makes me aware of. I said, did he curse a lot when he got mad? Because he's showing that he's not coming in mad, but he's making me aware that when he would get angry, he cursed a lot. And she says, oh, yeah, that's my dad. And I said, okay, so he was just giving me that as information about him, right? Something evidential about him. And so anyway, that kind of thing went on. And I said, he's kind of coming in a bit sorrowful feeling for making you feel in life not always loved. And he kind of knows he had a part in that. And she was very grateful for that, kind of reading. But, that wasn't who she was wanting to hear from. And her grandmother's lovely, but that isn't who she wanted to hear from. So grandma's came in, the dad came in, grateful, but not who she wanted. And then there was mom. And I said, I have your mom here. Do you have a mom in spirit? And she says, yes, I do. And I said, she makes me aware that she was very full of energy, like a real multitasker, really full of zest and energy, and can multitask and really independent, if that makes sense. And she says, oh, yeah, absolutely. And I said, I know from her coming in this way, I know by having all that energy in life, I know that she did not have that towards, the later years in life, that something had declined with her. And so I knew this woman didn't pass from an accident or something sudden. I know that this was some type of a progression of her, because her energy was low. And she said, yes, that's true. And I said, your mom is really, it was very encouraging in your life. Would you understand that? And she says, absolutely. I said, she tells me you have a lot of similarities. And so mom's kind of talking a little bit about this. So her daughter would know it's her. So I said, she tells me you have a lot of features that are the similar between you guys, like your eyebrows, your eyes, like similarities in your features and also in your personalities. And she says, yes. She goes, yes, we do. And I said, she talks about a picture that you have in your bedroom. That's of her, and it's standing on something leaning against the wall. So I know it's not hanging, it's leaning against the wall. Would you understand this picture in your room of your mom? And she goes, yes, I do. I have it. It's on my dresser, and it's leaning against the wall, and it's of my mom. That's absolutely. And I said, wonderful. She is aware of that photograph. She wants you to know. I said, she talks about she speaks about your visits and how you always enjoyed visiting one another, and I don't feel lunches. And she says, yes, I lived in another state, and she would come visit me and I would come visit her. I said, perfect. She loved us very much. I said, now she tells me that you are struggling, and she makes me aware that you are struggling right now in your life. Would that make sense to you? And she says, yes. And I said, her mom began to move me into her daughter's life. And I became aware. And I tell you, like these spirit readings, spirit will move me into their life and move me into an area that they want their loved one to have help with. And so I began to get moved into her life, and I knew there was this relationship problem. And my client says, yes. She says, yes, I'm in a relationship problem. And I said, you're asking for some help with your mother with this. And she says, yes, that's why I'm here. I'm here because of that. And I said, all right. And she says, my relationship has been very up and down. It's been very roller coaster. And so we went into this a little bit. And then, so this woman was having trouble here with this relationship with this man that she'd had for several years. And she kind of cut it off. And she wasn't like sure if that was right and what to do. And this up and down, this in and out, this breaking up and getting back and breaking up and getting back, and him wanting to be single and then getting back and wanting to be single and then getting back. And he kept playing these kind of games with her. And it was really making her, my client, feel questionable about his sincerity. And so she was really struggling with this because she'd spent many years with this man. They'd been dating. And then her mother, clever, her mother, she says, so I'm coming here. I need advice from my mom. So mom knows that. And so all of a sudden I become aware of mom coming back in. And now she shows me a sewing machine. And she shows me patterns on the kitchen table. And I said, huh. I said, would you understand your mom being into sewing and into patterns? And she says, oh, yes. And I said, she makes me aware that she's quite good at this. So she's very good at these patterns and making things, and like a seamstress, like she's excellent. And she says, and my client goes, oh, yes. She goes, I have memories of all of my mom's patterns on the kitchen table. Yes. And a fabulous she was fabulous at creating and sewing. And I said, okay. I said, your mother says for you to know that in order to create what you want, you must follow the patterns completely. So if you want the dress to turn out exactly the way you want, you must follow the pattern exactly. When you follow the pattern exactly, you get exactly what you wanted. You get the dress exactly the way you want when you follow the patterns correctly. And she says to me, she says to say, tell my daughter, this man has laid out his patterns. He has placed his patterns out on the table. Are those patterns that are going to create what it is you are wanting? And she said, do you want what those patterns he has created for you? Do you want that? So the woman was like, oh my God, like she like lit up, and she was so happy about this message from her mom, because see, her mom knew, and that's what's interesting, is her mom knew that her mom was big into patterns. So she knew that her mom was big into patterns. She was an excellent seamstress and excellent at sewing. And she knew her mother always followed the patterns. So her mom came in to let her daughter know, it's me. I'm talking about these patterns. You know how I am with these patterns. And you know it always comes out exactly right when I follow the patterns. And her mom was coming in to say, honey, follow the patterns. This man is giving you patterns. And these patterns that he is giving you, does it give you what you want? Is it going to give you and what it is you want in your life if you follow that pattern? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, I thought it was so intelligent, because she knew exactly what to say for her daughter, that her daughter would understand that she knew her mom created these patterns, and it made perfect sense. My client goes, oh, I get it. I completely understand. This is perfect. This is perfect. Thank you, Mom. So her mom came in and used an analogy that her daughter would know and identify with for her mother, and know that her mom knew that she was excellent in her seamstressing and excellent in making her clothing, and she always followed the patterns, and it always turned out right. And here she was saying, this man is giving you patterns. How is it making you feel? Are these patterns he's giving you, are these patterns that he's giving you making you feel, giving you what it is you want in your life? Because if you're following his patterns, you know what you're going to get. This man kept leaving her and coming back, and leaving her and coming back, and breaking up, and I thought that was just so perfect. I mean, it's a little simple thing, but really, if you think about it, it's really intelligent, because her mom used something that was so precise in her own life, and something she lived by in her own life. And she was sharing that with her daughter in a way that her daughter could understand very easily and very practically and very simply. What do you think about that? I wonder. What do you think about that? Hi, Daisy. Let's see. Hi, Gia. I miss you too, honey. Pamela misses you too. Debbie says, brilliant. Yeah, right, guys? I mean, if you think about it, I mean, here's the thing, loved ones aren't going to come in and make things complicated. They're not going to come in and try to give you a message. Could you imagine if they start talking philosophical? They're not going to do that. They're going to try to find something that you can identify with that's going to get you to understand a message that they're trying to share for you. And this woman came not because to see her, to connect with her grandmother or her other grandmother or even her father. She came because she needed advice from her mother. Her mother knew that she needed advice from her. And she knew what the problem was. And so she used the analogy of her sewing and of her patterns. And the look on my client's face when we spoke about the patterns, because it was such a vivid memory for her. It was such a vivid memory of her seeing all of the patterns on the kitchen table from her mom. It brought back such beautiful memories. And then to see that her mom actually used those patterns as a way to communicate and connect again with her daughter was really so powerful for the daughter. And it was really so beautiful. It was like in that moment, everything was fine and she completely understood. She got exactly what she needed. She heard it in the way that she could understand, and she knew that was coming from her mom because her mom lived in those patterns. And she knew how precise her mom was, and she knew that what patterns meant to her mom. And so it was just so interesting. I just thought that was, sometimes, things don't always have to be so wow. Sometimes it's something like that is so wow, right? When I was receiving that, I thought, wow, that's really intelligent. It's really intelligent. Her mom knew exactly what to say. And I just thought that was amazing. An awesome analogy from mom, right, Mary? Because it really is, right? But what's awesome about the nice analogy, and we can all say that, right? Because we understand patterns and we understand the need of patterns to create and sew. But for this daughter, that was so much of her memory of her mom. That so much of her memory with her mom was creating dresses and being proud of them. And she even still had some of her dresses. It was so profound that it was everything to her, that just made complete sense to her. And she left getting exactly what she needed. She needed to hear from her mom. Her mom knew, and she helped her in the area in life that she needed with an analogy she could identify with her mom, and in a way that she can simplify it and make sense and go, light bulb, I get this. Okay, patterns. I don't know. I think it was meant. This is so wonderful. It is, right? So simple, but really so good. And that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't have to be wow, powerful, out like in like, our loved ones are going to give us things in a way that we can understand. And for that daughter, she understood that. And what's most important is that she gave it to her in a way that it was a complete identifying of her mother. So it was that wonderful double connection. Oh, my mom and the patterns. And oh my God, she gave me this analogy about patterns in my own life right now that I'm struggling with. And that's what I needed from my mom. And so she knew. It was really special. And I just thought, God, Spirit's gorgeous, you know? Maria, you're the best, Monica. I can't wait for a reading one day so I can receive messages from my mom or family and friends. Your messages are always so awe-inspiring. It makes me smile. How amazing you really do. Oh, thank you, honey. You're so sweet, Maria. Thank you. But it's loved ones, it's spirit, and it's our loved ones. And it's like they don't want us struggling. They want us happy. And that mama knew her daughter was struggling. And that mama knew she was coming in to connect. And she was able to bring a message to her in a way that her daughter can identify simply and practically. And I just thought it's amazing. So I just love that. So I always like to, you guys know I'm so passionate about this work, and I just love working with the spirit world. And I love being able to create these wonderful messages for my clients because, it helps your heart and it helps you move forward, and it lets you know that your loved ones are around you. And these wonderful little things are just so special. It gets me out of bed every morning. I just love the work, and I just think it's really wonderful. So I love sharing a little bit here with you guys, just so you can understand what I do every day. Like these are things that I'm getting filled up every single day doing this work. I mean, with that reading, with the other readings, I'm always getting filled up. My heart's always full when I'm doing my work. And yeah, it could be a little bit, it's a lot, and sometimes, it's emotional when people are grieving, and but to see the smile like that and to help, it's just It's great. I love it. Hi, Bonnie. The little things are the biggest, right? I know. Hi, Lynn. This is true, Bonnie. That's right. I love how you guys are talking to each other. um, Hi, Pam, darling. Awesome analogy from Mom. Hi, yes, Crystal. Wow, that was such a great way. Oops. I'm sorry, I'm not good at these. I'm missing Gia. Crystal, wow, that was such a great way to look at it. Relationship, right? So that's a question, right? Because that's a thing. Like, can you understand? Like, where can we take that? There's a little message in that for us too, right? So I have a quote because there's a quote that goes along with this. And it says, our biggest failure is our failure to see the patterns. What do you think about that? Our biggest failure is our failure to see patterns because they really tell a story. And like the mom was saying, if you follow the pattern exact, you're going to get it exactly the way you want it. You see the dress on the outside of the pattern bag, and if you follow the instructions exactly, follow the patterns, you're going to get that dress. So if you have somebody in your life that's mistreating you or not being kind to you, not respecting you over and over and over and over again, these are patterns. Are you going to be happy with that? Follow the pattern. It's going to give you, those patterns are creating something for you. And so I just think that's true. We can all do that, right? Life can give us patterns, right? Whether it be this example with that relationship, but even in other things, there's patterns and we can follow them. And here's another fun one that it's a little different, but it says, success is following the pattern of life one enjoys most, right? So success is following the pattern of life one enjoys most. So are we following patterns? And even that one with the story of this beautiful, client of mine that came to see me who was struggling with the relationship, if she continues to follow this back and forth, the break up, get back together, break up, get back together, he wants to be single, wants to not be single, wants to be single, doesn't, this back and forth, is that really making her happy? Is that pattern that this gentleman was giving, if she keeps following along with that, does that make you happy? Success is following the pattern of life one enjoys most. So is that a pattern that you enjoy, right? What's the point of making a dress out of that pattern if it's a dress you don't like, right? Think about that. So you buy the pattern because you want that dress. You want something to look like that. That's why you buy the pattern. And so you follow it exactly and you get that dress. But why are we following patterns in our life that give us outcomes that create things for us that we don't want? Simply don't follow those patterns, right? We have to find new patterns, create new patterns, right? So there's a little message in this for us in our life, don't you think? I think so. I took something away from that. I hope you guys did. Let's see here. Hang on. Pamela, I think we tend to ignore or not recognize the patterns, right? Good advice to make sure we remember that patterns exist that we can learn from. Exactly. Patterns give us, it's for us to see, and it's for us also to say, do I want that? So if you can always kind of think, here's a bunch of patterns, think about this beautiful mama on the other side. Hey, she shows us these patterns. Here's a pattern box. Do I want this dress? If I follow this pattern, I'm going to get that dress or that blouse or that blanket or whatever it is you're buying the pattern for. You're followed, that's what you're going to get. So in life, maybe some patterns are falling out in your life that you don't like. Maybe these are, patterns. You see this, and this is a pattern, and it's not leading you to what you want. So maybe we need to find new patterns. We need to look for different patterns, leave these patterns. Maybe we need to put that packet of patterns back on the shelf and look for something else that's more appealing, right? If we're talking about, sewing dresses, right? Like the mom, she wouldn't pick something she didn't want to sew. She would only pick what she wanted. And are we picking what we love? Are we picking in our life what we want? Are we? Are we doing that? Are we doing that? Are we choosing to pick patterns that are going to give us the outcome that we want? Or are we following suit with patterns that we know don't feel good to us and we're doing it anyway? And then we get upset when we end up with a dress on that doesn't fit us right? Or isn't our style. You know what I'm saying? I'm just having fun here, but that's possible. Let's see. Hey, honey, hang on. Okay, anyway. All right, guys, do you have any questions for me? I have, oh, I love this. Her mom was a smart lady. She was, right? I just think that was so. I think that was really, really good. So I have 4 small group readings in the next 2 weeks. I'm doing 4. They're all sold out, but one ticket became available for this Saturday night. So if anyone's interested in doing a small group, the tickets are $89. You can buy them on my website on upcoming events page of my website. And there's one ticket left. All the events are sold out, but that one came back up. And it's this Saturday. So if anybody wants a reading, you could do a small group. Everybody gets a reading that comes on. Everyone will receive a reading from their loved ones in my small groups. And there's one ticket on Saturday that just came up. Otherwise, we've been sold out. So anyway, I'm excited to do all of those. I'm excited to come do these lives. I'm excited to share little pieces of little stories that just I feel maybe we can all take a little something from it. So I feel it's like the mom was helping the daughter, but then by coming up here and doing and sharing, we can help one another a little bit and kind of see if maybe that message can resonate with us in our life. Maybe it won't, but for some of us, maybe it will. And so that's just my hope, is just sharing and helping you guys. So, okay, and helping me too, because I get something from all these readings too, all these loved ones in spirit, they're always sharing lovely things. And it's, I always take something away from them also. Anyway, do you guys have any questions for me? I'm just chitter-chatting around. Anybody have any questions for me before I chime out? Let's see here. I don't know who this person is that keeps wanting to. Oh, I don't know, guys. Is there somebody here that keeps trying to? I get people that come on here that try to get you guys to private message them for private readings. Some random people I've never heard of. So, at your own, risk. That's all I got to say. I don't know. I don't know who any of these people are. So anyway, you see people that I have somebody on here that keeps messaging all of you guys to PM them. So I'm assuming it's for something. Anyway, I don't know, whatever you guys want to do. But anyway, okay, so I hope this all makes sense. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hey, Gia, miss you too, sweetheart, so much. Okay, anyway, guys, so just want you to know, I don't know who that person is that is doing that. Anyway, okay, guys, listen, I'm going to get going, but I just wanted to share that little story. So you guys be amazing, and I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of the week and a wonderful weekend. Okay, stay safe and stay well, and know I'm always thinking about you. And until Monday. I'll be back on Monday for my next Letters from Spirit. So I'll be back on here for that. And I have a lovely letter from Edgar, so I'll share that on Monday. All right, guys, and until next time, you guys take care, all right? And I'll talk to you later. Bye.